Hey guys, DagTex here, and welcome to episode 3 of How Do I with How Do I Repeater. Now, before I really show you how repeaters are now, I want to show you the older style repeater. It looks like this. As you can see, there's a block with a torch on it, and then there's another block with redstone that comes from this first torch that then powers a second torch. What a repeater does, by definition in electronic circuits, is when it receives power, it re-emits it at a higher level, which is just what it does here. See, what happens is, imagine this is one redstone line, and this is the old school repeater I put in the middle. What this will do is, when I turn this on, imagine that this is the 15th block of redstone right here. It just has enough to power this, and then it'll re-emit a new signal out at full strength again, allowing you to extend your signals really far. So, knowing this is the crafting recipe, obviously very similar to the original setup, and it makes a repeater. Keep in mind, this is smooth stone block, just saying. Anyway, so repeaters, however, have more use than the old school ones, besides just being one block. The first thing that you'll notice is that if you click on it with the right click button, it'll move back this redstone torch. What that is that moves the repeater's timing to be 1 tick longer. By default it's at 1 tick, and it can go up to 4 ticks. Now, with the old school repeaters, you could only have multiples of 2 ticks, because a redstone torch takes 1 tick, and this redstone torch takes another. So, for every setup of this, it would be 2 ticks. This one can now have 1, 2, 3, or 4 ticks, depending on how you want your timing. Here I have them set up across the board, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll see these torches turn on from left to right and turn off from left to right. Just like that. So, there's still more use, however, to a redstone repeater. Redstone repeaters are very good for sending signals without interfering with other signals. For instance, if I have 2 running next to each other, I can power them individually. So, if I put a lever here and a lever here, I can turn this one on, or I can turn this one on, and neither will interfere with the other. If I try doing the same thing with redstone, well, obviously they both interfere with each other. Another thing they do is they strongly power blocks just like torches do. So if I put some redstone on top of this block, that's not redstone, top of this block, underneath this block, or on the side of this block, it will get lit up from the repeater. That's not something that redstone could do by itself. See? It won't turn on. So, there's still more uses to repeaters. Repeaters start to become very useful because you can make loops with them. And the loops that you make with repeaters will be able to have different timings depending on what you really want it to do. Now, there you have it. One loop. You can get all sorts of different timings, all the way up to the fastest one that resembles the rapid pulsar I showed you in the last video. Now, there's still one more use of repeaters that isn't very obvious at all from anything that I would have showed you before. And it's something called a repeater lock. Now, the way that a repeater lock works is that a repeater that is in whatever state it's in, either on or off, if another repeater is leading directly into it, and that repeater is giving power, it will lock the repeater in the state it's in. So I can turn this off and on now, and it won't change its output. But if I switch this, it'll now, since it was on, it now turns on, and now, no matter what I do here, it won't turn off. This mechanism isn't useful in most designs, but it can come in a lot of handy for building computers with things like all sorts of memory circuits and stuff that I don't want to get into right now. So that's what repeaters do. And besides that, I'm going to go over again that they are very useful for keeping redstone circuits separate. Because besides the fact that I can power these independently, I can also have it run over the top of blocks and without giving out power. See, a repeater, whenever it's given power, is going to turn on. So if I have it run out of a block that is powered by redstone like this, then it will put out power. So over here, however, you can see that redstone repeater is running across this block. It does not power it. The repeater's not turning on. So they're very useful for separating circuits, making loops, strongly powering blocks, and they have repeater locks. And of course, they extend circuit signals. So that's all, guys. Have a good one.